Hi everyone, and welcome to the British Championships Round 4 and also the Senior Championships Round 2. We'll be popping in on both. And let's start with the championships. I'm going to first of all share my screen with everybody walking around and then share Matthew's screen with the chessboard. And we should we haven't all gone small. That's a nice tiled view. That's actually quite nice. That is quite nice.
Quite good. Yeah, that's very nice.
The chessboard is very small, so what I'll do is I'll just do it different. I'll do it like that, and then you can see the chessboard.
Yeah, you can switch the tile view if ever you want to show the tournament hall. That's quite nice.
Yeah, well, I just have to press. Oh, there's any number of views here. This one, I don't like this one too much. There's that, but let's go with this one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and then we can flick around during the show.
Yeah, and I'm just going to see whether I think this is as big as the board will go. Yeah, this is about as big as the board will go, I think. So, or can I? No, I think anything else I do here is just going to make stuff smaller.
Yeah.
Some stage
looking at that, we've got some lovely pairings today. So, Marcus Harvey against, that's right, Marcus Harvey against Danny Gormally, Hebs against Neil Bradbury, and we've got Eggy against Andrew Ledger. We have Nick Pert against Freddie Gordon. We have Amish Olsen, Keith Arkle, Joe McPhillips against Peter Finn. We have a result already. Robert Starley has won against Phil Brooks. We have Ollie Stubbs against Lawrence Webb. We have Steve Willison against Svetlana Susikova. And we have Olga Latipova against Louise Head. So we will hopefully pop into all of those in the next short space of time.
Fantastic. Let's have a look at it. Shall we start off with the top? Danny Gormally and Marcus Harvey.
Better place to start. Let's start at board one, where the action is.
We'll go right from the start. So, so Marcus playing very solidly here against Danny's King's Indian. Actually, it turns into a Grunfeld, G6, Bishop G2, D5, and actually it stays as a rate. Here we are. So if White had played D4, it would have got into a G3 Grunfeld, but it's just D3 now. And now Danny plays very solidly here, just giving up the bishop pair with bishop takes F3 and then playing rook E8 to play E5. It's possible, this plan. I mean, it's a matter of taste, really. I never really like giving up the bishop pair that early in the game, but it's very logical. I mean, we get control of E5, and so Black manages to put in a double pawn center. Just always get a little bit worried that somehow the game will open up and White's two bishops, particularly this light squared bishop, will become powerful. But it's certainly not clear at all. Marcus plays an interesting idea here, B4. Just preparing to play, B4 to B5, and also we've got the idea of playing Queen B3 here. So putting pressure on D5. So Knight A6, Queen B3, Queen D7, and Danny's actually really coming in and supporting this pawn on D5. So basically doing everything for the moment to keep this bishop under wraps. But D4 becomes an idea, followed by Knight CD5. It's quite nice.
What we should say is there's a whole lot of players at the top of the tournament on 2.5. So both these players are jointly in the lead at the moment on 2.5 out of 3.
Indeed. I mean, there's 5 people on 2.5 and then 4 people on 2. So, obviously early days in the tournament. So, obviously very, very close indeed. So, Rook C1 was played very natural, Knight E6. Black's looking quite well placed. And White's got to decide a little bit what to do in the centre. Really, could be.
Ferrari fan. Okay, I didn't realise a default today, and he's not well. Okay, please do join us in the commentary and comment on everyone. And a big get well soon to Phil Brooks, my teammate from the Ashtead Club. Hope he's feeling better as soon as possible. And hopefully he'll also tune into the commentary if he's not too ill. Let's see.
So yeah, I mean, here in this position, White can do several things. White can do nothing in the center, of course, or White can try and play e4 and get a grip of d5. That does concede d4. You could also play a flexible move like e3, just holding and waiting. But it does mean that, if you do something like e3, then moves like d4 have much more of an impact because, we get d takes e3, knight g4, bishop h6. Yeah, I mean, the kingside dark squares are slightly weakened because the white knight isn't there anymore. So it's a little bit of a tricky one there. I mean, knight a4 is quite a natural move, opening up the line of the bishop on e5, but and also with the idea of knight c5. I mean, you might be able to consider knight d4 here, just hitting the queen, hitting e2, and after bishop d4, ed, you've got double pawns, but you've also got an attack on the e2 pawn. Not completely stupid. Also, this knight on e4 is a bit out of the way. If you went bishop f3, I could go b6 maybe, and yeah, black's pieces are a bit funny. It's quite complicated, not clear at all, that one. But you'd expect that to be quite decent for black. I mean, queen a4 sidesteps the knight d4 attack. Also, looking at this pawn, looking for a queen exchange. Bishop h6 played. Irritating move. If rook c2, I've got knight d4, and this rook is trapped.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go into that for white.
Absolutely not. So rook b1 played, then d4, queen takes d7, rook takes d7, and yeah, white has to decide what to do with this knight. Knight e4 is possible. Knight a4 even is possible, although, well, I mean, you can't go b6 in this position because I'd go bishop c6. But okay, not 100% clear that it's a great move. You get knight c5 maybe, but maybe black just starts taking control of the c file, which he's fighting with the bishop on h6. So knight b5 played, which is quite an interesting one. Knight d5, hitting the pawn on b4. Bishop c1 played. Interesting idea. I mean, it's
Sonia.
Fighting this bishop on h6, but also weakening this square on c3. So bishop f8 played, just to hit the pawn on b4. Hey, Max Langemann.
Hello, Max Langemann. Yeah, because this bishop doesn't have anything very exciting to do. Like on the diagonal, it's just gone to.
No. So it's I mean, black's pieces are quite nice and active here, and yeah, Danny playing a6. And white feeling the need to play bishop takes d5, just to stop this knight coming into c3. Rook takes, knight a3, b5, keeping this knight under wraps. Rook dc1, rook a8, knight c2. I mean, black's this has worked out quite nicely for black. I mean, black's got a slight advantage here. Basically, black's pieces are somewhat more active here. Marcus is an IM now. Yes, that's right.
He got his last norm in the last few months. Yeah, it looks like I guess it's just not updated yet on Chess24.
Indeed.
Yes, he is.
So hey, Nizaya.
Hello, Nizaya.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I've been working from a very early.
I've had a busy day today.
Early hour this morning. So also worked quite late last night as well. So yeah, I mean, what is white going to do in this position? Well, white's got to try and find some sort of spot for his knight. So knight a1 to b3 is one possibility. Looking maybe for knight a5. Other possibilities, well, we could put it to a decent square there, but it's not doing a huge amount yet. I'd be tempted to do a knight a1, really. Knight a1 to b3, and then maybe look to play rook a1 and a4, that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, black's got a nice position, but yeah, I mean, we need to think of something, of some good follow-up for black. And actually, that's not it's not entirely obvious to me how we do that. I mean, we've got a few moves in which we feel we might be able to achieve something, but what are we going to do with those moves?
That's the question.
Rook dd8, interesting. Is Danny just going to try and fight for the C file? I mean, yeah, knight a1 played. I don't know. It's just it's one of these things that you sort of feel, well, it sort of feels like Danny was on top, was really doing the push. So you sort of think, well, then with these pieces as they are, I should be able to do something. That's the way that you that I think about things. Yeah, but it looks like Danny basically feels that there's maybe not that much in the position.
Yeah, it sort of feels slightly for black, but not really. Like it's drawn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of wondering. Was there something clever that we could have done? But I sort of feel, that black was kind of doing the pushing here. So, was there something accurate that black could have done at an earlier stage somehow? Was this bishop f8 move a good idea? I don't know. It's yeah, maybe it's nothing. I mean, it can also just end up being it wasn't anything in particular, and black just played well. But white always had the capacity to neutralize black's play. It's possible. Just feels like not much of a reward for some good play from Danny. Put it that way. DC1. Could we have done something more exciting? A5 maybe immediately. I don't know. I mean, in some ways, A5 could have been interesting. A5.
You'd have to go what, knight C2?
Well, the idea is after knight C2. I was actually thinking of playing A4.
Yeah.
And then claiming that that I've stopped you from playing your knight to B3. That's the. But of course, I've created some weaknesses on my queen side, so I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you could just go back to A3 and then try and put a rook coming round to attack B5. So. I'm not sure, but that's kind of the obvious move that you think of. Well, could I have just played A5 and A4? Interesting, because I think this one's maybe heading just for equality, but maybe this is not so bad. Maybe we can still play for something, play F6 or F5, and then start bringing the king in. I suppose if we get our king round to D5. And then we start playing E4, expanding on the king side. We can claim we've got something. So maybe that's the way to do it. The question is whether you want to play F5 immediately or whether you want to say, let's not hurry, keep it quiet, and then afterwards, once we brought the king in, then we'll do something. Not 100% sure about that, but yeah, I mean, black must be a little bit better here simply. But you would have thought that white could, with accurate play, that white can neutralize this. And yeah, I mean, Mark's a very solid, very good player. So you'd expect a draw is odds on, I think, on top board here. Let's have a look at Mark against
Mark
Neil.
Hebden against Neil Bradbury. So I guess these two have played countless times, but like way back they would have played a lot of times, and then Neil's I think taken a little bit of a break or played less chess in the intervening years, and now is back fully in action at the British Championships. So Hebs would be the favourite for this game, Grandmaster against an IM,
and it's looking quite good for Mark so far, I have to say. So so he's playing his Zukertort. Zukertort Collet. I've had this against Mark. I played D5 against Mark and tricked him. So, but yeah, I played D5 against Mark. Here, Neil plays C5, C4, bishop B7, knight C3. Yeah, I mean, Mark likes these sort of typical positions, really, and here he plays very interestingly, actually, I have to say, for a hanging pawn structure, but where he can throw in an irritating bishop b5 check. And then the question is whether, does Neil have to move his king, or is he able to block that with something or other?
So let's say he blocks with the knight on d7.
That is the obvious move, and then I'm sure that Mark is aiming for knight e5. Oh, after move 9, 4 games, one of them being Mark himself versus Simon Williams. Okay, back in 2010. Interesting. It's yeah. I mean, this is actually quite awkward for black, because I'm just running knight takes d7 and knight d5, and it's not strictly clear how you're going to deal with that. So I mean, are you just losing a pawn here? It's conceivable that you are.
Yeah. So what?
I mean, the only random thing I can think about would be to play the move Rook B8 here, with the idea of Knight D7, Knight D7, Knight D5, Bishop D5, Queen D5, Rook B5.
Yeah.
But I think I can probably just go Bishop A4. Just get out of the way, and I'm still threatening Knight D7 and Knight takes D5. It's actually quite an awkward threat, I have to say.
Okay, so maybe Knight D7's not.
Yeah, maybe Knight D7 is good. I mean, we can go Knight C6, of course, but then I imagine Mark's going to go a little Knight E5 and just sort of ask you, well,
Yeah.
Do you think you can? Are you really going to save your pawn here? And it's not. Again, it's maybe there's a way, but it's not clear. Okay, Knight C6 and Bishop C6. Yeah, Bishop C6 was the other idea. I mean, I think that the point is this feels a bit uncomfortable. For example, if you go Queen C7, I could go Knight C6 takes and Knight takes D5 here, where Knight D5, Queen D5 is annoying.
Or a double pin.
A double pin, but I mean, maybe you can do something like Queen B6 because I don't know. I mean, then there's Knight D5 and here that you've got to pay attention to here. So I mean, maybe you've got Rook C8. I mean, what I'm just trying to say really is there's stuff to consider, in this, and obviously Mark will have played this very fast, so makes you a bit nervous. Bishop C6, as Nizai says, looks kind of sensible here, because I mean, you're just breaking this. I'm sure maybe Mark's got some Queen A4 ideas or something. You'll have to see how to do it. But maybe we could take and go Queen D7, something like this. Maybe this would hold. But I mean, maybe you take and go Rook D1, and you start feeling uncomfortable as black. On the other hand, it's a big thing to play King F8. That's and Mark follows up here with a very clever move. Actually, he plays B3 because I mean, once you've gone King F8, Black's natural thing is to go G6 and King G7, and so Mark just plays Bishop B3, waiting for Bishop B2. And it's not maybe it's not 100% clear that this is going to be winning or anything, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. Then it's just a move that's dissuading Black from doing that. And well, actually, Black goes a little bit Alpha Zero style here. Look at that! Wow, it's quite an interesting game. Knight BD7, Queen B6 gets out of the way, Queen C2 and H5.
Hey, come on, Neil, get that H pawn going.
Rook D1, H4. Wow. So this is pretty. But Mark deals with it actually in a very interesting way. He plays Knight G5, exploiting the weaknesses of the downsides of this move quite nicely, because he's this knight is very hard to remove, and the bishop stops Rook H5, and the queen's coming into F5, and this knight also keeps Queen E6 at bay. So this is quite a strong move from and the problem is D5 is weak, so you can't move the knight away to do anything.
And even H3 is now covered as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder whether you should. I mean, I'd actually quite fancy playing H3, to be honest, and seeing how White reacts to that. Because well, if you take with a knight, when you've got your rook active, you don't need to do anything with your king anymore. You could have stuff like D4, for example. Hi, Grandmaster Windu.
Hello, Grandmaster Windu.
So you played Rook H6, Queen F5, G6, and then Queen F4. And it's all a little bit tricky for Black, this one. Because, I mean, King G7, well, really does run into Knight D5 now, I imagine. So Bishop D6 played, but now Knight E6 check. Whack. And the Rook disappears, and we've also got H4 disappearing. So, I mean, a big time advantage for Mark, and quite a bit of extra material there. So, looking very good.
Yeah, and it looks like the Black King's in more danger than White's as well.
I mean,
G5 now.
It's all action.
Yeah.
So I mean, Black's got a little bit of counterplay, but yeah, I mean, you know, it would be it's going to be surprising if yeah, you know, if white can really get away with, if black can really get away with this. Queen h6 is not silly. Queen h3 is another very decent move. So yeah, I mean, white's queen's a little bit short of squares, but you're not going to be able to catch it with your king so open like that. So yeah, that's going to be a tricky one. Looking very good for the veteran player.
He's in good form, isn't he? He's been on good form. We've seen him in a couple of tournaments now since over the board chess has got back going, and he's been playing very well.
Oh, now this one's a bit of a wild one. It's gone from a Petrov as well. My goodness, kind of a bit of wild position from Petrov. Well, let's see. So Andrew Ledger always used to be a Caracan player, Andrew, when he was younger. But I have seen him playing the Petrov as well. He's a solid player, so I think it suits him quite nicely here. So knight c3. This is one of those. Yeah, there's a lot of theory on this line. Bishop g4, rook b1, b6, rook b5. I remember this was played quite a lot at some stage. I don't believe it's that popular at the moment, but I could be wrong. It's actually an exchange sacrifice here. a6, hg4, e5, knight g5. I have no idea whether this is normally played or not, I have to say. Doesn't look that amazing for white.
He's been inspired by Hebden on the next board. He just wants to get his knight on g5 too.
Yeah,
but Hebden can go into h7.
So this is quite an interesting one. Queen h4. I mean, I think the idea is to you know, follow up with g5, but
yeah,
got a few little problems there on the. I wonder, would we've gone sometimes amazingly after g3? Would you have taken? Maybe you would have just taken on g3 and then I don't know. Actually, I'm just wondering how would white have any? Would black have anything serious here? Oh, there's
must
A2.
be at least a draw.
Yeah, a2 is hanging, which I've just just noticed right now. So that would probably be quite unpleasant. Yeah, there would be a draw. I was just wondering whether there was more, but yeah, a2 hanging is quite unpleasant. F4.
Well, Sonia, are you a Petrov player? Looks good fun.
Sonia is a wild player. I can't imagine he plays the Petrov.
I bet he's tried it.
So rook e8 played just to get out of the hit of the knight on the rook on f8, and queen f3 played, hitting d5, and then rook a2. This is the current situation. Wowsy!
So what is that knight doing on h7 then? Is it being scary or just a bit loose?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not particularly scary at the moment, I don't think.
No.
Feels more loose than scary. But let's have a look. I mean, rook takes a2 played. So I mean, the obvious thing to ask is, what do I do after queen takes d5, hitting the rook on a2? Is there anything clever? Position feels like there might be some tactics in there, but probably not anything immediately. Everything's quite well covered. Queen's covering g2, bishop's covering f1. So probably in terms of tactics, there's not that much. But I guess that we can maybe just simply play rook a1. Oh
yeah, threatening rook c1 and bishop f4 maybe.
Maybe, yeah, that's. But okay, we've got some. We've maybe got some tricks here. Thing is, the white king is also quite exposed, so it's not, from that point of view, it's not particularly easy. I mean, what are these sort of moves? Are these moves achieving anything, or are they?
That makes the position look really funny.
It looks a bit odd, but I mean, we've got queen e7. We've even got rook e7, to be honest. And I'm not really sure about a follow-up. A lot of my natural attacking moves just lose instantly, you know, like f5 or whatever. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. And I can go queen. I mean, stuff like queen b5. We start going rook e1, you know, and this is going to get unpleasant. It's not. It's tricky. I think think my initial feeling is just probably correct, and that this is probably just very bad for white. I was sort of hoping there might be some tricks or something, but yeah. Oh, played at Hastings.
Okay. Wrong Wilson.
Wilson.
There's lots of Wilsons.
There's David Wilson as well, who we have in our.
David Wilson. Yes, he play. Oh no, I've forgotten. He plays in some London leagues. He plays in, I think, Banking League or something like that. Yeah, but also plays in the leaguers that we commentate on Thursdays and Sunday nights.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit short of ideas, really. Oh, then maybe something brilliant. That would be lovely to see. But
is there something brilliant? You could put the bishop back, and that forces the rook out the way. It's just what to do with that knight on h7, because it.
Yeah.
I suppose. Oh, if you move the queen across then to d3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then, if you did play queen takes g4. Then we might have a knight f6 kind of trick, but we probably don't, because you can run out via e7. I don't know what to do with that knight, really.
No, I don't know. I think it's just it's a sort of thing that you say, yeah, I'm not sure, because David played knight g5, a6, and then thought for 15 minutes about knight h7. So I'm wondering whether he had an idea and then suddenly thought, oh my goodness, this is not quite working. And
he didn't want to move it back again.
No. I mean, to be honest, knight f3 would maybe not have been silly, because you've provoked g5.
Yeah.
So that might have been it could even have been a decent idea here, but.
He must have something in mind, mustn't he, with his knight h7? Yeah. I would think.
I mean, queen c2 would also have been, kind of reasonable. I mean, you just played in an exchange down and just, claim that you've got, you've got some sort of chances. I mean, queen c2. I mean, what's black going to do? G6. We could take on b5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pawn in the exchange and some weaknesses. I mean, I go a4 after that. Doesn't look so bad, really. It just looks like a decent exchange sacrifice. Probably not better or anything, but I think somehow I think it looks like over the board inspiration and then maybe having great ideas but not quite being able to put it all together. I think, but it's looking very good for Andrew Ledger there. So yeah, I don't for the moment. I don't particularly see anything for white to do there. But okay, I could be missing something. There could be something exciting to come. But okay, now let's look at this one. Richard Pert against Freddie Gordon.
Nick Pert, isn't it?
Yeah. Nick Pert. Sorry, Nick Pert. So what have we got? We have got a Queen's Gambit decline. Very solid opening from Freddie.
Yeah.
And this interesting move a3. Yeah, I mean e3 is the main line. There's a draw.
Draw on board 10. Okay, we'll check on that in a bit.
So e3 is the normal move. And then you've got all sorts of things for black. You've got c5, you've got b6, you've got knight bd7. Knight bd7? Yeah, knight bd7, I think. Or is it c6 first? No, I think it's knight bd7. But a3 was mentioned by Simon Williams in his DVD on the bishop f4 Queen's Gambit declined. So, we're hearing that black was lucky on board 10.
Okay. That was Louise. Oh, yes, she did have her king in a bit of a pickle.
Indeed. 2 pawns down. My goodness. So, okay. But, Will escaped black and, well, I suppose good result for white. Certainly the rating. Yeah. So, yeah, let's go back to here. Those for a3, interesting. B6 and now queen c2. And after d takes c4, e4. So yeah, interesting idea this from Nick. Just playing a3, managing to delay e3 and then getting e4 in one go. And it's quite a sharp sacrifice. I do wonder whether this has been played before. I think b6 is a slightly unusual reaction to a3, if I'm right.
Okay.
But yeah, shall I have a little look at the theory there?
Just, yeah, have a look at the theory. So can we take? Where can we?
Dum 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 dum.
No, I guess we just develop, just keep developing.
All right then. A3. So let's have a look, little look at what the main theory was. So after A3, oh yeah, B6 indeed is a pretty common move. We probably
who's played B6?
It looks like Rajabov, Bakro, Karyarkin, Grishuk. So
lots of people, yeah.
Anand, yeah, lots of people have played it. So B6 and then Queen C2 is quite an unusual move, but it's played by Grishuk, Yu, Geary, Carlson. So I think there's been a little bit of interest in this line. And then Bishop B7 has been the normal move, which is kind of a very solid line. D takes C4 played just 3 times with black.
So Freddie is just so people know. So Grandmaster Nick Pert, very established, solid, strong Grandmaster. Freddie Gordon is an 11-year-old Scottish junior talent. He did very well in the British Online Championships, and he scored 1.5 out of 3 against Grandmasters there. And we know he's got it. We know he gets coached, and we know it's not by Agard, because we interviewed him, and he didn't give away who his coach is, but we know it's not Agard.
Okay, so what have we got here? We've got Bishop A6. Just have a look at this one. So Bishop A6 has been played twice already. And then, yeah, we can go castles queenside, or we can go rook d1.
Freddie played that Bishop A6 after 40 seconds. So I guess he is still in his prep.
He's still in prep, I think. Yes, indeed. And probably Nick is too, because rook d1 there was played quite quickly. And I mean, if you're not sure, then it's kind of a decision really to go castles queenside or rook. We're following the game Moisenko Predka from 2013, which White won. Alexander Moisenko, very strong grandmaster, and he played h4 as well.
Okay.
Queen c8 played in that game as well. H4, and now Predka played h6, which is, I don't know, it covers g5, but it's kind of asking for it, I would have thought. Indeed, Moisenko played rook h3 in this position. And, well, I mean, we're teeing up basically. I have to say, I wouldn't like to do this position without preparation. Freddie played c5, which is, as far as I can tell, is well, it's certainly a novelty over the board. Let me just check my my good old correspondence database just to see whether this has been a bit more popular. Might have been. You never know. It's the sort of position you could maybe have come across. No games found. So it looks like c5 is has never been played before. So that's a novelty there, and probably actually quite quite a crucial position. This really. Well, I don't know whether
Gordon defense.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's a good novelty or not, but it's certainly very very crucial. So I mean, White's got quite a few tempting possibilities here, I have to say. In principle, I would love to be White in this position. So White can play. I mean, d5 looks quite strong actually. I mean, I'm just going with 6 very quickly.
Right. So what do we do against that? Yeah.
Going d6.
Oh.
Looks. I don't know.
Go back a move. Go back a move then.
That looks quite. I mean, just looking at possibilities for now. Just also, I think, to give an idea of all the decisions that Nick has to make. E5 is what Nick actually played, and that is actually also pretty natural move.
Mm.
I was just wondering whether we could do anything even more crazy, like knight g5. But I mean, we've got c takes d4. If you go e5, I've got d3. You know, blocking basically. That's always the slightly annoying thing. So that would not be very good. So I think probably you're going to try and decide between e5 and d5. E5, the most direct attacking, attacking move here, really. So that is definitely quite interesting. Let's have a look at how that went. So knight d5 played, and now, yeah, two possibilities here. I mean, bishop g5 was played. That's not the first move I would think of. Knight d5 possible, knight g5 possible. You know, those would be the ones you sort of intuitively go. G5, interesting idea. Nick played it fairly quickly after his long think. And Freddie thought for 13 minutes actually about knight d5. So yeah, I think both players had a preparation. I don't think c5 was preparation. I think that was probably over the board there, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what are these ideas if I go knight g5? I mean, are you going to take on g5 maybe, hg, and then go g6?
That feels a bit dangerous to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Knight e4, knight e4 is already feeling, rather scary.
I mean, we have to take on g5 though.
Well, we don't.
I don't feel like I'd want to if I can avoid it. But you can take on h7 if I do. If I don't,
you can go g6 first. I mean, the thing that that scares you a little bit about it is maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it takes, but anyway, h5 as idea, or even knight h7 and an h5, which is kind of. There's a lot of scary stuff. Maybe it's not. I mean, I'm looking at this through the eyes of somebody who's played a lot of Bullet recently. So it's sort of. It's probably not. Maybe not 100% good, but yeah. I mean, it's quite. I mean, I suppose would it be an idea? Is this really? I mean, this is maybe possible. Hitting these two. Possible to think about it anyway, but hg, knight h7 even. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is really murky, but it's quite again, it's really going for it. I think what Nick tried to do was quite a nice move actually in principle, quite a nice restrained move, just looking to put pressure on the bishop on e7 because the queen, exploiting the fact that the queen is there. And then maybe trying to take on e7, go knight g5, and really establish a knight on g5. I mean, I don't know if knight c6 here, which is a reasonably natural move. I guess was Nick looking for something like maybe bishop e7, knight e7, maybe take that knight g5, maybe something like this, maybe g6, maybe knight e4. Some sort of attack like that with h5 to come. Could be, I mean, it's got its points. I mean, the interesting thing there is that Freddie reacted with f6, which is quite tough.
Yeah.
Again, I think both players here really upping the ante, so yeah, I mean, I guess taking on here is a threat. It's just, again, in sort of bullet games, you'd think about, let him take and I'll open the H file. But hey, Sketos attack. But I don't know whether that's really, that's maybe going a bit too far. I mean, remember, we're lacking a little bit of development here. And the bishop on a6 with a pawn on c4, it's stopping this bishop from developing. So, there's some chances here. Nick took on f6. And then knight takes f6 was played. And now bishop e2. Yeah.
See, I thought about also pawn takes on f6 because this e pawn's a bit isolated now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of I don't know. That's it's pretty loose, that one.
Mm.
I would definitely consider it. I mean, I would definitely consider that because yeah, it feels like you're having a big fight there. But I'm not sure whether it's a good move or not. I mean, we can win knight 4, maybe threatening bishop. I don't know. There's a lot of weak squares there, and I'm not quite sure. I think with black, you need to be fighting back somehow, and I don't know whether you can really do it. Knight f6 is probably, probably a very sensible move. I mean, bishop e2 played from Nick, knight bd7, and then d5. So yeah, I mean, Nick's going some sort of position here where yeah, white's going to have sort of 3 on the king side and 2 on the queen side. Black's going to have 3 on the queen side, 2 on the king side, and that's always slightly weak for black, you know, some sort of weak king side. So there's always a slight initiative there, but maybe not so much. Queen c6, hitting the rook on d5. Obviously, bishop on e7 is hanging, but the rook on d5 is hanging as well. Rook d1 played, bishop c4. I guess maybe we're just going to take. They can go queen e6 check. And this is a little bit awkward. So Nick played rook d1, rook e8, and then Nick took on c4, king h8, and castles. Bishop g5, h takes g5, there takes. So yeah, I mean everything's been exchanged there, and yeah, we are into this sort of position where, yeah, I imagine white's got a something of an edge here. Just because this one's a little bit mobile, tying down some of the black pieces, and we've got the 7th rank for ourselves. I don't know, was it worth playing queen g6 and rook ef5, or could we do something?
Like rook e4, maybe.
Yeah, I'm wondering about just trying to hit things, you know, and I suppose maybe after rook e4, probably slightly worried about queen d7, and the rook comes into d7. You know, the point is with these double rook endings, I suppose white's always going to be a bit worse because black's always going to be a bit worse because his king is weak. It's hard to get, you know, to get the king free, so you'll always have a few worries with your back rank. You know, whether it's super serious or not, or whether you think, oh, I could probably hold this, is the question. But it's always going to be slightly uncomfortable for black, I think, this time.
I suppose it depends whether f4 is a sort of strong move or a weakening move.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it has the seeds of g4 in it. Hey, Rock Troll!
Hello, Rock Troll. How are you?
Like the logo. It's a Rock Troll's got a new chess school. So
I've seen it. It's very nice.
The Rock Troll school for not for rocks, but for chess. So very nice indeed. Oh, 4NCL online.
Okay. Oh gosh. But Rock Troll, you're this must be quite late at night for you already. Good luck. So I think Rock Troll, it must be early hours, pretty much going on for early hours already.
No, not yet, I don't think. It must be about 10, 11, I think, sometime.
11 now, but then by the time this 4NCL happens, then
it's
it'll
be early hours of the morning.
Pretty
1 a.m.
late.
start.
1 a.m. start, nothing. That's fine. Easy for you, Rock Troll. And then I imagine you're working in the morning as well.
Oh, this is quite an interesting one. So Rook f3 played. Yeah, I think black's in a little bit. It's uncomfortable for black this because if you go Rook f4, there's this move e6, unfortunately.
That's the plan. I see.
Next Rook f4, Rook f4, Rook d8.
Yes. Well.
So,
yes.
And yeah, I mean we're threatening g4, which is going to be the you know. You don't teach
g4, but then you can take on f4, can you? If g4 happens.
Sorry?
If g4 happens, you can take on f4.
Not sure actually. Just for example, if I went a5, g4, e6. Still works.
Still the same
trick. It's the same trick. Right? Yeah. And I mean, you can try rook takes g4. But then I just take, and rook d8 again.
Still the same. We've got to do something about our back rank.
Yeah, so Freddie plays g6, which is not clear that's the move you want to play. So Nick goes rook df1, and now queen g7. And yeah, this is getting quite crucial. You know, Nick's. Oh, sorry, I'm going to close my window. It's freezing.
Yeah, it's gone a bit colder, hasn't it?
So
I don't mind this for Freddie though. He's looking at all this, like this pawn on b2, and might be able to come in with queen d4 check and stuff.
Yeah, no. It's I mean, it's fine. It's just I mean, it's also easy for White to overdo this one, but it's just you know, in terms of who's making the running, who's forcing, it's it's White. You know, and, but actually, this is quite a neat defense. What Black has done. Natasha pointed out attacking b2, possibly a queen d4, and well, we are actually a little bit stopped here because if we go f5. We can probably just chop a Rooney and take on here, and there's nothing, you know, crucial happening because these guys are quite well placed. So yeah, Nick having a think here. I do wonder, was rook df1 necessary? It looks such a shame to, because I mean there was no threat of rook f4, right? Because I mean, if I went just say a4, rook f4, I had rook d7 here.
So let's see this. Rook f7. We could just play rook takes rook, couldn't we?
Yeah, I had not seen that queen g8 was possible. But is it really possible? I mean, if I go queen h2 or something, are you seriously telling me that you're escaping this? No, I don't think you are. I don't think you are. So, so yeah, so there wasn't actually a threat of rook takes f4. So then you sort of, under those circumstances, but I can't go g4, then I really can't go g4, because then rook f4 is annoying. I mean, that's, so the question is, did I have any sort of move? As always, these are ridiculously complicated positions. I mean, rook d6 felt like a move somehow.
You're threatening. What are you threatening?
Well, I'm not sure I'm threatening anything immediately.
Okay, but, then I'm not scared.
Brought to Winter Hebden. Let's have a quick look.
Well done, Hebs. Nice, very nice, very nice.
Have a quick look just how that went.
Yeah.
So g5, queen h3, g4. Yeah, that's what we said. Attacked, but just with an open king like that, it's just really tough. So c5, rook h8, and Hebs just sacrificed. That's a very nice idea. Easy.
Hard luck, Neil. Neil's having a good comeback, I would say. He is
an excellent comeback indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done, but yeah, I mean, Mark in his systems, tricky and all that. Yeah, no, very, very good. So well done, Mark, 3.5 points, leading the British.
Very nice. Will it be Mark's hit? Wouldn't that be lovely if Hebs won it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Rook d6 feels vaguely like in the right place, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Hi, Chris Baker. How are you?
Hey, Chris Baker. After queen d5, rook e2 seems strong.
I should give you your full name. Hi, Chris Baker. I am. That's better, isn't it?
Rook e2. Rook e2. Oh, that could be very. Yeah, that knight on h7 could be getting into problems as well. Yeah, no, that's probably true. Yeah. Let's have a look. What have we got? Rook a2. White played queen d5. Black played rook a1, which was my move. Chris suggests rook e2, which is also quite decent, I think.
Could you pick up the knight at the end?
Well, that's right. Once you do this, then your knight on h7 is in a bit of a quandary. Is that 100%? I just wonder whether maybe
what queen? What's the threat? Queen b7.
I want to go. I want to go a3 or something, or
the knight the f8 square.
Can I go queen b5? I don't know. I don't know. It looks pretty desperate. I think Rook A1 is also quite strong. He's played Queen F5. Oh, Queen F5 is a nice move. From
the threatening this.
That is absolutely. That's maybe more awkward than I thought. Well, I mean, he's not really threatening anything, but on the other hand, he's stopping. I mean, he's sort of restricting black a little bit. You can't go Rook E1 because of Queen C8 mate. So Andrew's going to have to give something clever there. I'm just wondering though, is what's the idea after G6?
G6, knight F6 check.
King H8.
Something. Then we can take on B5.
Yeah, let me go Rook E1.
Well, the rook, I mean, just move your bishop. You'll be fine.
Which bishop? This one?
Yeah, bishop, let's see, B2 onto the long diagonal.
Oh, you're optimistic.
I know, this is a bit optimistic, perhaps. Right, maybe not if that's not going to work.
But I mean, bishop D2, I just take and then take your knight on F6. That's the point.
Oh, well, then B2 is obviously better then.
No, but then B2, I go bishop takes
F4. Yeah, you might do that.
I don't know. I think it's just tricky. I think it's just about Rook E2. Rook E2 is quite clean, I think. But
oh, Chris is saying Queen E8 check and G5.
G6
E8 check. Don't get it taken by the rook.
Yeah, I think so, isn't it? Knight F6, King H8, Queen B5, Rook E1, Queen E8, and G5. Oh, you mean right at the end? Queen F6, Queen E8 check. I take it. I don't know. I think this is looking really, really bad. I think it's looking really bad. Rook takes C1, played by Andy.
Okay.
That's probably quite sensible too. I mean, Rook C1. I can do the same thing again. G6. In all fairness, I don't think that White's long for this world. I'm afraid. I think this is it's been one of those things. You have a few great ideas, you can't quite put it together, and then all of your pieces are all over the place. I think David will be a bit disappointed with that because you sort of in a way you've made it a bit easy for black to just for oh, wait a minute, for white just to for black just to win without effort. But I'm just wondering, actually, we don't possibly have. Yeah, I was wondering about Queen F6 all of a sudden. But this might we go Queen G3. Oh, he's got
Rook E1 check.
Rook E1.
No.
Okay, so we're going to take King H2. Oh, what's happening here?
I don't know.
I mean, I've read in Queen C8 check. What am I missing?
So I suppose you can't actually. Oh, so say we just get knight out, knight F6, knight D7.
Knight D7.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice. Because if you take it, I'm taking on F4. I'm just wondering if that's all right.
Could be, but maybe I don't know. Do I go G3 or something?
G3 now. Well, then.
I think Andrew's just.
Do you think he's blundered?
I think he's playing for a draw. I think he's.
Oh.
I think he's maybe overestimated the attack somehow, or he's found he's playing Queen E1, or he's.
Hi, Juvenalis. Rook E1 through much of the advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's going to be draw by rep. Oh, that's a. I think that's a missed chance
for Eggy.
I think definitely let off for Eggy there. Yeah, unless we were missing, unless I was missing something crazy there. But yeah, there's been a few developments in the Freddie Gordon game.
Yes, let's see Nick against Freddie.
So Rook F2 played Queen D4. Yeah, no, and Queen C. Wow, okay. So now pretty even. Probably. Well, no, it's just even, really. I think.
I prefer Black's pawn structure.
Yeah,
White's king, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a little bit more space. I mean, I guess you'll go something like Rook E3, G4, F5, maybe. Got to watch out. You might, and yeah, I don't know if Black can try and win this pawn, but it's not clear. Rook F3 played. That's also very sensible. Keep this rook active, and yeah, I'm not sure. I think White's still a little bit better in this position, but Black's got fantastic. I mean, it's a slight edge. I think it's a sort of position you'd reach from the opening and you say, oh well, okay, I've got a slight edge then. It's that sort of thing, but nothing.
Slight edge for White, right?
Yeah, for White, I think still, just with the space and the active. The active rooks.
Yeah, Rockchill doesn't like Black's king. Too weak. Just too weak.
But I mean, I think you're going to go king 8, king G7, and H6 and stuff like that. I think it's the sort of thing that neutralizable. I would say. So we're going to see. That's going to be again another big.
And Freddie's got a bit of extra time on the clock there. I guess Nick's not going to worry too much about the time just because it's a rook and pawn ending, and he's quite familiar with all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right, Rock Troll, I think. So I'm not sure. Yeah, Rook D2. Is Black? Is Freddie going to go for it? He might be going for it.
Yeah, of course he is.
I would have.
Get the king out first, maybe. Yeah.
I would try to get my king out. Maybe try and give my king a little bit more space. We're going to see. I mean, Freddie's a good endgame player. He's a young player, but he's played. We've seen some good endings from him.
The one against, was it Mickey? Was a good one.
A good defensive performance against Keith as well. He lost that one in the end, but I mean, it was that they were right on the edge, and Mark as well. He lost in the end, but still, I mean, I still think he shows good good play in the endings. So we're going to see, but it's tough against Nick because Nick's a very good endgame player.
That's true. That is true.
Very good endgame player. So we're going to see how that goes. Okay, we first look at Keith against
another good endgame player.
Ooh, so Keith, but Keith is actually playing a little bit
unkeithly.
Oh, this looks a bit unpleasant for White, I have to say. Let's have a look how it all went. So okay, the Spielman system, B5, when White delays C4. C5, knight A3, quite a common move. Hits the pawn on B5, and then after A6, you play C4. So Keith played, very interesting idea. C takes D4, and bishop takes A3 here. I think he's probably played this as White, actually, Keith, as well.
Okay.
B takes A3, very interesting idea. He played this move D3, which has got multiple pin ideas. If Queen D3, I go bishop E4.
Yeah.
And if I go Rook B5, then I go bishop A6. So quite interesting. Could you throw in a knight D4? A little bit unclear, that one, maybe, but probably okay for Black. So E takes D3 played by White, and bishop C6, and just an interesting unbalanced position, really. Plenty of weak White pawns, so I'm sure that Keith was pretty happy. But some free lines for White. The one annoying thing is that these bishops are opposing each other. So the natural move you want to play with a knight coming into to the center just allows the exchange of pieces and weakens your king. So I'd be pretty happy with black, I think, in this position, really. So Keith plays queen e7, queen e3, knight d5, queen d4, and f6. That's a good idea. Just neutralize this bishop on b2. Knight d2, knight ac7, f4, queen f7. Yeah, this is getting quite nice for black. I think it's easier for black to think of things to do than for white. You know, it's I'm not really sure what black should have done, but yeah, Keith looking to exchange off these light squared bishops. White not wanting to do that, but now this knight coming into this, Keith's maneuvering very nicely with his pieces here. Knight d6 from Hyman. So this is actually quite an interesting idea. Just a few little tactics to yeah, to ruin the black structure and also yeah, remove this lovely square on d5. Yeah, Spessy played this all the time with black. But okay, yeah, you know, white got a bit unclear. But again, this bishop is actually not a very good piece. You feel like it should be a good piece, but it's really not not achieving very much. And yeah, knight on e6 is well placed, and there's all sorts of light square weaknesses.
Oh yeah, threat at the moment it was knight f4 already.
Indeed. So rook bc1, h5 from Keith. That's a good move. Just start getting these guys on the way. Queen d7, takes, rook e8. So Keith's just given away this pawn on d7. But yeah, he's getting an h4 and the rook's on an open file. Yeah, I mean, this looks quite, I mean, offering the b5 pawn as well. Keith's playing very aggressively here. But obviously, you know, knight d4 and rook e2 would be one very dangerous threat. Bishop
oh, hi, Chocolate Chess.
Hey, Chocolate Chess.
We've got to see Theo's game. Yeah.
We'll have a look at Theo's game next, shall we? That's a good idea. Queen d4, h4, rook e1, queen f7, rook e2, queen b7 check, and that's a very awkward check. Not much time for white, and
Theo's got to buy. Okay, so Theo's watching.
So yeah, where are you going to go? I mean, if you go to f2, I can probably play h3.
Oh, that's that nice pawn there. Yeah.
But king h3, ooh, how does that feel? It feels a little bit awkward after queen f3, to say the least. So I think actually white may actually have to bite the bullet and start running over to here. But it's I mean, it's not lost, I don't think, but it's, yeah, it's uncomfortable for white. I mean, you know, the extra pawn, you don't really see it anywhere. And the only thing is black's got to try and find a good spot for this knight, because that's what we're lacking at the moment. But I think king f2 would be the move. Although maybe we've got queen h1, come to think of it.
Yeah, that looks good.
That also looks very very annoying. White's play king f2. Yeah, we've got h3, but we've also got queen h1. Because if you go gh, then we might just come out with knight g6 and looking for knight h4 and queen g2. You know, just not quite letting the king escape yet. So yeah, okay. Keith looking in pretty good shape, I would think. I think he's got. I like his chances anyway. Now let's have a look at Peter Finn. Checkmate a lot. Whoa, this
Against
is
Joe McPhillips,
a wild one here.
Who has been pushing his h pawn and his a pawn in Alpha Zero style.
Indeed, but yeah.
Hi, Smooth Baron.
Peter's played quite a clever move here. Let's have a quick look through the. Hey, Smooth Baron, have a quick look through the game. So this was a Catalan, very popular in the England under-8s and under-10s.
Oh yes, it really was.
So maybe these guys have been looking at those games. This is the old main line. Normally, white plays a4 nowadays just to stop b5, but this is the old main line. Lots and lots of games in this. c6. I can't remember the theory anymore. Here, white sacrifices a pawn with takes queen d4. So yeah, black has a pawn, but somewhat passive, and yeah, white's got pressure against c6 and also you know, these squares to aim for. So a4 played b4, knight e4, knight b5, bishop c5. Now Peter offering to give the c pawn away, but white just keeping on, and that's often the case. You aim to you give black let black keep that c6 pawn, but just go in front of it and hope that it if there's a pawn in front of the rook, that it's not active. If you remove that pawn, then the rook would be on an open c file. c6 is the line you play, Rock Troll. Okay. So knight e5, bishop g2, c5, knight c4, takes. In all fairness, I think once you swapped off that knight, that feels quite decent. And you see Peter just okay, but it's decent. Rook d1, knight c7, e3, knight b5. Yeah, I mean it's just black doesn't really. It's not easy for black to to really find a plan there, and white's just doing quite a nice of aiming at the weaknesses and keeping white a bit together. But on the other hand, there's not much wrong with black's position. And
now Joe is launching the other rook's pawn. So here we go.
Indeed. Yeah, you can say that about the entire Catalan. Yeah, indeed. Queen e5, so h6. This is a very nice idea, I think, in principle. I mean, you've got some play on the queen side, so yeah, create some play on the king side, and then maybe go for the center after. But yeah, I mean, black playing sensibly here, just trying to use the extra pawn to offer the exchange of queens all the time. Queen h5, very nice. Just trying.
I guess Joe has to swap.
Board 3 draw. Okay, yeah, draw this one.
Yes, we're
very surprising that one in a way, but well played both players. Queen h5. So yeah, looking to swap off the queens. Now, could conceivably consider doing that. And then maybe pick up the pawn quickly. I don't know. Not impossible. Not an impossible idea by any means. But white went for something clever. He played bishop b5, a takes b5, queen d4. You're really using that pawn on h6, and just queen h6. The idea, I suppose, first of all, is c takes d4, rook c8. We've got another back rank mate thanks to that alpha 0 h6 pawn. And if you go queen h6, I go rook c5, and this is actually quite awkward. Probably, this the queen's well out of position, and well, we've got our a pawn that's going to move. But Peter played a clever idea here, f6. So now there's a threat of c takes d4, because obviously, rook takes c8 is no longer mate. And if we go queen f6, there's this move queen f5, which is hitting the rook on c2 and the queen on f6. It's actually not going to be possible to defend both.
Yes, you have to exchange.
You have to exchange, but this is not so bad for black. Maybe even g actually, just to come round here, maybe. So you've got quite a nice queenside pawn majority here. Which is going to be that's going to be hard to get around that one. So yeah, queen d4 f6. We're going to need an active reply for a while. I think you've got to keep on coming in with your queen. Really, is what you would say. But
if you do take there and swap queens and all that stuff, and then go a6,
yeah,
doesn't that tie down that rook on?
Well,
a7.
I'll go c4. I'll go rook c6 after.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come in with king f7. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that white's any better in this ending.
No. Okay.
I think because you've got this pawn as well that can be pushed. I'm not sure.
Okay, tricky. So don't take that then.
I'm not sure. I mean, queen d6 is possible. Maybe I just go queen d5.
Yeah. Rook d2.
Yeah, I can do it, but
same thing, I suppose.
I think c4, and c3, and these guys are quite guys are quite fast, So I'm not sure. I think unless I'm missing something. I think this is just actually quite
Right. What about Queen F4?
Yeah, then I go Queen F5. G4 is what Rock Troll wants.
Okay. G4 looks nuts was in fact his comment, but okay. I assume that looks nuts means that's what he wants to play.
I don't. Yeah, it's nice. I mean,
so.
It's got lots of points. I mean,
Again, I said it. Lol. You can play moves like that, Rock Troll, if you like, especially when you're just analysing.
It's got lots of points. It covers F5. I guess we could do something like maybe Queen E5 if we want to play super safe, you know. But hey, Blitzbreed. But it's a very interesting idea. If I'd spotted it, I would have been very happy with that. I'm just trying to think. You can't go Rook C1 or anything. I'm always attracted by these things. It's totally rubbish, of course. But because I had a game against Murray Chandler once where I sacked my queen. I was quite young. Sacked my queen and for a passed pawn that couldn't be stopped. Unfortunately, when you looked at it later, you saw that the passed pawn could have been stopped in multiple ways.
Did Murray manage to see the pass?
Murray was very, very short of time, so he actually lost on time in the end. But
that was worth it then.
It was worth it then, but
so you're going to go Rook C7 check here?
Yeah, no, but it's just all.
Is it nonsense? A6.
Well, I mean,
Black's got at least perpetual.
At least perpetual and stuff, you know, and probably low small. So yeah, no, I think F6 is a really nice move actually, and I'm not sure at all. I don't know what White would have really. Don't know at all what White would have there. So okay, interesting. Quite interesting games here. So this was the D4. We've got Ollie Stubbs against Lawrence Webb. Let's have a look. Who is it to move? That's quite crucial. That's a lot.
Be Black to move because it looks like that Rook's just gone.
Rook B3. That's a lot of pawns.
Yeah.
That is going to be too many pawns, I think. Okay. Well, can I just have a quick look through? And this is Steve Wilson against Svetlana Suksikova.
And we have to remember the seniors as well.
Indeed. Yeah, very interesting games there. I guess this was a Caracan with F6. Yes, indeed. And so we'll just have a quick look for that one. Bishop B3, knight E2, white queen B3, slightly unusual. Castle queenside, and F4. Yeah, Black doing a good job of exchanging off lots of pieces, and yeah, balanced position basically. But White gets this this D5 in, and yeah, it's actually looking quite nice for White, I think, in general. Just yeah. You know, quite a big D pawn and some pressure against here. You'd have thought White could get some sort of advantage there, but it's going to be time trouble is looming. It's going to be a bit of a one, I think. So no new results. Should we have a quick look at the British Senior Championship?
Let's have a look at the seniors as well. Yeah,
this is round 2.
It's round 2. So it'll be a mixture of over 50 and over 65s games.
Oh, good Lord. I'm just, I do apologise, Andrew, but I've just seen the first board game, which finished very, very quickly there.
Oh, gosh.
19-7 and then...
We probably do have to show it. Oh, dear.
Knight D6 check.
Who's playing White there? I can't quite... Is that Don Mason?
Don Mason against...
yes.
Against,
do you remember Don Mason? He used to play in the Britishers, like
I remember. Yeah. He's a good player, but Andrew Lewis was obviously one of the top seeds there, so if not the top seed, so a little bit of a shock there. Then we got Chris Duncan against Fraser Mitchell.
Yes,
it said here that Chris 0-1. I'm not quite sure. I think maybe there was a problem with the board transmission here because. There would be no reason for White to resign this game anyway. So,
no.
Okay. Then we've got Andrew Smith against Dominic Gill. And Queen takes H2 has just been played. So I'm guessing King H2 will be played afterwards.
Yes.
And we've got 1, 2, 3. Well, Black feels. Wait a minute. There's a rook hanging on the E6 as well.
There is.
Then in that case, Black will be.
Black's going to be a whole rook up.
Yeah, but what position is this? What game is this even actually? Oh, this is Roger Scrowan against Oliver Jackson. Maybe this one's just finished. Maybe I just clicked.
I wonder
on it,
that. Yeah.
So Andrew Smith, sorry, against Dominic Gibbs. Sorry, just it's such a different interface to the one we've just seen. I'm getting a little bit confused here. This is looking very nice for Andrew. Good attacking player, Andrew. And all pawn up and huge kingside space advantage. So I think we're expecting some good stuff there. And then Philip Crocker against Barry Hyman. That looks like an extra piece for Black, and a pretty good one too.
Does as well, yeah.
So, not quite sure how you're going to avoid a horrific fork somewhere. So this C5 pawn weak. So looking very good for Barry Hyman there. What other games we got? We got Ivan Mile. Strange. Sometimes I
Paul Dargan. We've got Paul Dargan there, just in the row above you.
Okay. There we are. There we are. Hassan Erdogan against Paul Dargan. Paul Dargan is
B22 C3 Sicilian. Is going to lose, did you say? I didn't even get to the end of his username.
Yeah.
Did GM Pert lose? We don't think so. Has it? Well, we think he's still playing, but we
40 moves. Yeah. He's still playing, I think. So Paul Dargan is, we know him as B22 C3 Sicilian, which may give you a clue as to one of his favourite openings. I mean, Black is a little bit better here because you've got a knight on. It's always a little bit.
I'm sure that he won't have run out of time, and just it'll just be the computer.
So knights on c4 here, pinning the bishop to the defense of a3, and also these pawns on g3 and h2 are all on dark squares as well. So it's a very nice position for Black. The only question is, can you make something of it, or is it one of those ones that's just doomed not to be a win really? Going to be a toughie, I think, to win this one.
Yeah.
Ivan Mile against Brian Valentine. This is looking like it's going to be a draw, I think. Probably a little bit more comfortable for Black. Active king and bishop against the knight, but it's also the wrong coloured bishop for the rook's pawn. So you'll be going at summon to turn this into a win. And then just looking here, Paul Kenning. Nothing happening there. So
we've also got Stuart Rubin playing. We could do a quick look at Stuart Rubin's game. Just two below you.
Yeah. He won that game, looks like. So,
well done, Stuart.
With Black against John McKenna.
Okay.
So there we are. So quite a few things. We'll keep on dipping into that. I don't know whether have we got another round today, or is this?
No, they play identical times to the championship.
Okay.
So they're 2 rounds shorter. So they started. They're always 2 rounds behind, but they kind of finish on the same day that the championship finishes.
Okay.
On Sunday.
Fantastic. Well, good luck, everyone. Looks like it's going to be quite a few good players in there, some tough fights. So let's go back here, and we're going to have a look to see how things are going. How have Danny and Marcus been getting on? So f6 played by Danny. He didn't want to play f5. I can understand that. I think you can get away with f5, but I understand that you might want to do it. So Marcus playing solidly, not making any adventures with his king, but Marcus also playing very solidly there. All the rooks being exchanged. Ooh, yeah, I'm just a bit surprised that Danny allowed e takes d4 somehow. You just sort of feel if anyone's going to be better here, it's going to be white now. With this pawn on d4. I would have just taken on e3. I think. I don't think that was that was anything crazy, but let's have a look. I don't know whether there's anything you can. Ooh, bishop f6.
So now, what's this king and pawn ending? Is it completely drawn?
That is a good question. Never sure about king and pawn endings, but this one does look pretty drawn, I have to say.
Well, I suppose if you take the white king can get immediately to f4, and white's likely to be the person that can waste a move, so it's not completely obvious to me. But
well, I think we'll just go h6, and then we play king e6 to f6.
Yeah,
I think we've got our defensive thing. And I mean, even if you get your king to h5, I just go to g7 and waste moves. So I think you'd need something incredibly subtle in order to be able to win this. And I don't imagine that you've really got it. So yeah, no, this is looking like a draw to me. You could could try bishop f8 and hope that Danny plays bishop e7 to get a better version of the ending, which might be quite decent. But yeah, I think this is going to be a draw. But maybe Danny just took a couple more risks maybe than or I don't know. It just feels strange allowing the exchange on d4, but still looks like it should be a draw there.
Yeah.
Mark has won. That was a draw. Nick against Freddie.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's Black's actually managed to unravel quite nicely, really, with the rooks and with the king. But okay, you still got this h7. This idea of g4 and f5. So yeah.
Now black is now threatening to swap a pair of rooks as well. So black could put a rook in on d3 next.
Indeed, that would probably be a good idea, I think, because the danger to the king comes from the two rooks. So
and also then black could get around behind the other pawn, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you can play a lot more aggressively with just one rook on the board. Whereas with two, you're always a little bit worried that your king will get stuck. So I think that's a very sensible move. Yeah, I mean, I think so far anyway, Black's played it very well, and you'd expect that Black could hold the draw here. But yeah, still a way to go, of course. But it's looking like very sensible play at the moment. I mean, I suppose you could give something like g4 a little go, I suppose.
G4. I was going to suggest g3 to just stop the rook swap idea, but g4 still swap. Okay, and then white comes in with all the pawns.
Something like this, but I mean, you can't. Some idea like this, but you probably need to get to have your king ready to come into f4 when you do this. But that's an idea, an idea too. Just because I don't know, g4. Rook d3, king g3, maybe takes, and then we're looking to go f5.
Yes. So do we defend with active, like rook d1 and try and get our rook in?
Yeah, it's complete. Yeah, not clear to me at all. Because I mean, at some stage I'm going to go f6 and threaten rook e7 there.
Yeah.
So yeah, not clear to me how the best way to defend there. I think. I don't know. I mean, either king g3 to f3 straight away, or g4, and then with possibility of f5. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of play. There's a lot of play in it still. Yeah, rook d5 is possible to stop it, but then I bring my king over to f3, and just sort of yeah. I mean, rook d5 is interesting. King g3, rook e3, rook e3, rook d5 is possible. But I suppose I'll go king f3, and then just we'll see what Black's going to do there. Don't know. But I mean, I think again, I think it should be a draw. But it's there's plenty of I mean, these rook endings are complex. Plenty of opportunities for both sides to get it wrong.
So we're not expecting them to just shake hands at the moment.
No. I think Nick's going to play. Yeah. This is very much a Nick position, with white. I think. Hamish against Keith. Keith did play Queen h1.
Yep.
And did well. There's obviously Oh, I think that one's move time 21:45. No, something's gone wrong there.
Oh,
I don't know whether you can't see Keith, can you? On your
let me
on
have
the
a look
screen?
online. Yeah. Keith. Here we go. Queen H1. It's saying as well. Move time.
I mean, he was short of time, Keith. So Hamish rather. So could have come as a shock. But
is it? I assume they're still going.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't see that Keith. I meant on the Torment Hall. Actually, is Keith still there?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's make that big for a minute. Just okay. If I switch it off for a second, and there we go. That's that. So where's Keith? Is that Keith there in the checked shirt?
Well, has he got a bald spot? That's the key thing.
I can't quite see. So I think it's
yeah. I think he's
that's there in the check shirt. I'm pretty sure it is. This is Freddie watching.
He looks a little bit tiny compared to all the rest.
He does look tiny.
Yeah, I think that's Keith over on the right there. I think
that's Andrew Ledger, is it? Or is it? No, maybe it's not.
No, that's Marcus. That's
Marcus Harvey, isn't it?
With the trousers.
Yes. Okay. We can try and identify this.
Yeah. So we think that he's still playing. Actually, that's basically it. But
oh yeah, no, I do think that is him.
Yeah, but maybe there's something gone wrong with the transmission of those moves. Okay. Or maybe Hamish just had more time than we thought. Well, let's. I'll just move away, move back. No, okay. Well, we'll see what's happening there. Yeah. If anyone knows what's going on, that would be great. McPhillips against Peter Finn. Oh, 14 minutes think, and Queen D3 played by. You can see all the moves that we looked at. We didn't look at Queen D3.
Yeah.
That's not a bad move, actually. So the idea is, if Queen takes H6, White wants to go Queen takes B5, which is actually played.
Yeah.
Well, at least there, what you're doing, you've destroyed the queenside mass that Black had. I'm not sure whether you could have done something
Queen
different.
F5 instead? We kept looking at that.
F5 was what I was thinking of, but I think he was going to play E4 then.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. It's a nice idea, Queen D3. I don't know whether there was anything like, I mean, C4, Queen D4. It's I don't know. I can understand it feels a bit risky to do that. So okay, Queen H6 played. Queen B5, Queen F8. So Black's still a pawn up, but White's again got his grip back on the Queen side again, and Rook D1, Rook B8, and I mean we're going to have to see what White can do about this. I mean,
we presume we can't
take on now. Yeah, I think you can takes. And then the question is,
why did Black allow it?
Well, maybe I go B3 or something. Maybe I mean, it's not going to be super easy to advance. Maybe going Rook B4 to A4, getting some counterplay. I'm not sure. Probably he feels that this ending is not so bad.
Okay.
And White's also got to decide. Do I maybe want to try and keep my initiative? Maybe play a Queen C6 and hit E6. I mean, I think these positions they can go wrong a little bit. These positions for Black. I think White's definitely got plenty of play, but it's not easy to to keep it. But Peter's we're nearly at 40 moves, so just 1 minute, of course, but quite interesting. I mean. Queen C5, White settles for probably a slight edge, solid edge, but I think moves like Queen C6, Queen C4, much more ambitious. Oops, sorry. Probably I'd look for one of those, I think. Let's have a look. Yes, that's what we've been looking at. Oliver Stubbs against Lawrence Webb. Oh, b5 played straight away. Oh, maybe. There, king e7. Oh, yeah. It's a bit strange, that one. Bishop d6.
D6 and take on c5.
d5. Oh, dear, now. That's could consider playing bishop takes b4 now, and playing for rook and bishop versus rook. Likelihood is that you manage to swap off that last pawn because you can get an f4 to f5. So that's definitely a possibility. Or you can you can be a little bit braver and just sort of wait a little bit, with the risk that you never make it to rook and bishop versus rook. It's a bit of a tough one, this one. I'm not quite sure. I'd have a very long think about this one if I was white, because the pawns are quite away, really. So I mean, if you go something like here and I play b3, you're not very far away from b2. But I don't know whether you can play clever stuff like here. Maybe you can, and then come after the pawn. Possible. Then you want to get an f4 and king f2. I don't know. It might be possible. Probably it's a possible thing to do, but it might be that this is decent practical solution. I don't know whether it's practical because a number of people who've lost rook and bishop versus rook, of course.
Yeah. I wouldn't go for it.
Yeah, maybe you should sort of try and delay.
Not yet, anyway. Yeah.
Indeed, possible. And then Steve Willison undraw. Okay. Steve Willison against Svetlana Suksikova. D6 played.
So Svetlana didn't manage to hold a draw yesterday. She's been doing some absolute sterling defense during this tournament and having the longest games and managing to hold positions that you thought were impossible. Did you see, Matthew? We kind of gave up the game as lost for her the other day, and I was saying, look, no, she always draws, and she did. She finally drew that game, but not yesterday. Yesterday was too tough. She was playing GM Nick Pert yesterday, so that was a tricky one.
This is a clever little idea, looking for knight e5 to block the d pawn, and if a6 we go knight b4, which is very sneaky.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say a draw is odds on here, and we're both very short of time here, of course. So
they are, aren't they? Another 6 moves, 6 moves to go.
Yeah,
time control.
I mean, to be honest, rook takes c6 would tempt me very much in this position, just to take. I mean, I don't think you can really lose this, and well, queenside pawns, bit of time trouble towards 40th move might be worth doing that. We'll have a look later. Just have a look. So Marcus Harvey, they agreed a draw a little bit later. F7, H6. Yeah, and that's just king and pawn draw. So well played, both players. Well played, Danny. I'm sure be satisfied with holding a draw against Marcus, who's one of the main competitors. And yeah, the tournament goes on for both those players. Then we've got Nick against. So what has happened here?
They took off a rook. Oh, he did do G3. That's what I was saying about that.
I mean, in all fairness, I mean, rook D3 was still kind of forced the exchange of rooks because you can't away because of C3. He's gone rook C7, which is a slightly strange move there.
I think, yeah, is he trying to go C4? He must be trying to go C4, I guess. Yeah.
It's possible.
But even if you go C4, rook D3, they can go rook C4, can't they?
Rook E8. Oh, rook A2. My goodness me.
He's bluffing, is Freddie. He pretended he was going to go C4 and then he went rook A2. So now the rook's got to come back and defend. You don't like 4 black?
I don't like this very much. Yeah, I mean, rook H8 here, and indeed, this is. I mean, this is. Ooh. So we go rook E8.
Yeah.
I mean, already. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is all right. It might be all right for black, but a bit hard to get these pawns moving somehow. That might be all right for black, but I don't know. Rook h8 played, yeah. So it's got to be king g7. That's the only move.
Okay.
Pretty strange. Okay, so rook e8, and then let's
So
play.
they didn't take a pair of rooks off at all. No. Maybe he should. Do you think he should have with rook d3?
I think a pair of rooks off would have been quite. Rook ef8. Well, chocolate chess, brilliant. I didn't spot that one. That's very evil. Well done. That just wins on the spot.
Oh no! Oh dear. I don't like that.
Yeah. No, I think yeah, that's.
This is gone then. This is it.
Yeah. It's funny, you know. It's just after move 40 somehow. Black played very quickly there, and probably would have maybe needed a bit more time just to think about the position. I think, and maybe sort of assumed that the king was safe. Now you got it out of the corner, but actually it's it's cut off, and and this is looking completely lost. I think, with this very clever idea of rook ef8. Which is excellent. Well spotted.
That's very sudden, isn't it, from Nick to?
Yeah, indeed. Big game for Nick, really, because Freddie obviously is a very dangerous opponent for anyone. You have a feeling that someone's going to have a bad day against Freddie. So I think all the players will be very relieved to get past that obstacle. So now here, this one we just don't know what's happened there. So and then we've got this one. Let's have a look. So White did play Queen c5, takes, and King f7 from Peter. Yeah, I mean, I think White's board 9 win to Svetlana.
Oh, well done, Svetlana.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming. How did that one go? We've lost our moves, but there's a win.
Let me see on mine. If I can.
I'm going to refresh just to see whether something maybe no.
Right, Svetlana. Oh,
one on time.
I've got is knight c6.
Yeah, one on time. Matt Carr says so. Presumably White was sort of puzzling about the position and
forgot about the clock. Time. Yeah.
Oh, hard luck.
Okay.
So well done, and well done, Svetlana. I mean, played a very tough tournament all the way through so far. So some deserved luck if anyone did, but hard luck, Steve. That's always Sometimes that happens. You start thinking and you get engrossed in a position, you forget about your clock, and it's so there we are. But pardon me. Rook takes a4. I think Freddie's missed rook ef8.
No, I think he has.
Which, to be honest, is a very nasty move.
Yeah.
And easy to miss. But yeah, I mean,
played it. Oh, I'm sad. I mean, I do for Nick as well, to be fair, but
and Nick's played it. Yeah, I think that's going to come as a huge shock to Freddie there. So hard luck. I played very, very well throughout. But I think if you're just gonna criticize or anything, I think you just say maybe after move 40, just take 10 minutes just to think about the position and just get your bearings about what you want to do. Because I think that kept on playing quite quickly and slightly inconsistent moves, I suppose, because that rook was on a2 and went to d2, and then the rook came to c7, and then rook a2 was played again. Sort of feels a little bit inconsistent there. So that was maybe a good thing to improve. But again, I mean, very impressive performance for somebody so young. Really kept parity with Nick just right up to up to that first time control. So so that's looking like a win for Nick. So big one for Nick there, because obviously plenty of draws. Looks like Mark's going to be in the lead with 3.5, and then a whole peloton of players on 3. Now, one of the players get on 3 as well is Hamish. But yeah, I would have thought that Keith has got, if anyone's winning this, it should be Black, but we don't know what's happened with the board, unfortunately. So we seem to be missing some moves there. This one's been very interesting. Rook d6 played. Rook d6 played. Isn't Rook a8 possible now? Very strange move. Rook a8. Or is he going to? Oh, okay. Maybe is White just going to go for the old 7th rank? He might just check and come here then and claim he's got the 7th rank.
That looks like the 7th rank.
It does look like the 7th rank, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit unpleasant for Black, that one. What sort of A6? That would be a good, possibly a good idea as well. A6, yeah, I can. Yeah, you're threatening Rook CC6, aren't you? Really forcing it, not giving Black the time to do something like G5 or whatever. That would probably be quite a good idea, and also have the Rook on A6 rather than. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying.
Chess, is it you thinking of these moves or Theo? Both of you together, maybe.
So King E7 played. That's also a decent move. So, but I guess we're going to go.
You're coming up with some very good moves for someone who doesn't play chess.
But Rook B6, I think we've got Rook A5, haven't we?
Yes, we could then. We'd have to take on E6, I suppose, but that's not what we want.
No, and Rook C7, I've got King D8. That works. So that's a little annoying. Rook CC6. We go Rook A5 then. Takes, and then we go. Oh, you're actually going to be a pawn up, of course. You've got your pawn back. I've forgotten about that. King takes, but we come around here though. It's going to be a fast B pawn, that one.
We could go Rook C2.
Yeah. B3, D2,
Rook D2 check.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tough old defense. It's going to be a tough old defense. Now White's done, White's Black's playing very well, but White's doing a great job of keeping things going. I thought this H pawn maneuver, H pawn push to H6, distracting Black, then getting back on the queen side, played really well. So very interesting game here. So yeah, a long way to go in this one, I guess.
Puzzle just for Chris Baker. Have you ever played Akshaya? She said her first. We did an interview with her, and her first winner against an IM was against someone called Chris, but she couldn't remember which Chris. So you were one of our guesses.
So Bishop F8 played by Oliver, and then we've got Rook C4 now. Oh, board 4 is a White win. Yes. Okay. So Nick Pert has beaten Freddie Gordon there.
Yeah. Well done, Nick. Nice performance. Good endgame play there with those rooks and the Rook F8.
Indeed. So F3 now, I guess from
Akshaya.
I mean, we've got Rook B5. We've got Rook B5 coming in as well soon. So yeah, going to be a tough one, this one. I think if the king starts coming in. It's a real shame, actually, for Lawrence, because I think if he'd just gone... no worries. I think if he'd gone Rook B3, I really think that Black's just got a huge advantage there. But it's just lost the pawn, and now it's tricky. So yeah, that could be a last gasp defense from Oliver Stubbs. We've only got 3 more games going on. Some more moves. Queen h1 was played. G takes h4, knight g6, and then queen d7 was played. And then black played queen takes h2 check. Okay, was that really necessary? Maybe it was. Okay, queen h2, queen h1, e7. Ooh, queen c8 check, queen f5. Ooh, I have to say white's defended this pretty cleverly. Rook c7 played to come in with queen c1 mate.
Oh yeah, queen c1.
But now queen h5, king g8, and I guess that white's going to play rook e1 now.
Okay, so right. So what do we have?
Well,
our knight and our queen are both in breach, so we better go.
Oh, wait a minute. There's also the idea of bishop c5, which could be quite unpleasant.
Right, 1 minute, one thing at a time. So
she's English. She's English.
English.
Chris.
What about knight f4?
Queen d5 isn't possible, is it? We've got queen takes d5. And knight f4, I've got rook e8 mate.
Mate, that's going to be enough. Right, so
we need some Natasha magic here.
Yeah, it's like that other game in the British where there was a thing like that with a queen. Yeah, anyway. All right.
One of his pawns defected. Okay, brilliant, fantastic.
The Irish girl will be Trisha. Trisha how do you say it? Kanyamarala. Okay.
I don't know. I'm a bit worried for Keith here. I think he's in.
So this is the actual position, is it?
Yeah, we're waiting for white to play.
Okay.
So
you're saying bishop c5 from Hamish, and then what does black do? And I'm coming up with a move for you.
You are.
Okay, good. So if we take on c5, you're going to play just queen takes, are you?
Indeed.
Yeah. And knight f4 still has the same problem.
Well, I'll go queen c8, queen f5. Yeah.
All right. So I think this is not great.
Yeah, I don't know. All of a sudden, it just looks really, really
dodgy. Is the word you're looking for?
I could say dodgy indeed.
Okay, we have to move the knight. However, if we do rook e8, mate seems to be a good.
He's played it.
Oh.
After 3 minutes.
Oh.
Oh dear! I think this is really
Wait.
He's also 2 pawns down. That's
you got to move.
The thing.
Oh, Matthew's seen the computer analysis. What? Queen h4.
It's 95.
95. 95 says Matthew. Having looked at the computer analysis.
Okay. Wow. That's probably is that a way to hold the draw?
I don't know.
I think
I only
so.
heard the move, not the analysis.
Wow.
Okay.
My goodness me. Yeah, that is quite. The point is that d4 knight c4 check is quite unpleasant probably. Well, is it unpleasant? Is it unpleasant? God, if this works, it's amazing, actually.
Interference, yes.
You're threatened with lots of mates here. Yeah. The point is, I mean, if we go FE, Rook C5, we're threatening Queen C1 mate. So probably you don't have anything much better than a draw. That's probably it. Yeah, Rook E5, that gets you some material, but it's probably, I don't think that'll be. You've got three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 3 pawns, but 3 really ropey pawns for the exchange. So I don't think that'll be anything. And so then, yeah,
the bishop. If you move the bishop, then you just get mated.
Then you get mated, and D4 is really what you want to do. But I'm guessing that, well, knight F3 check even might be quite decent. And even knight C4 looks quite awkward.
Yeah, knight C4, I think.
I mean, you could go. I was just wondering about this one, King C2. Then we go knight A3 check.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this one though. King B3, Queen D1, Queen D3, Queen D1, Queen B1. Not 100% sure about it, or maybe have B4 as well. There's a lot of stuff in there. Maybe knight F3 check is stronger. Could be. Because King C2, I go knight takes D4, which will work. And I mean, King D3, I get stuff like, I don't know. Well, Queen D1, King
Keith
E3.
will see this. He'll see it because the position's just lost if you don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think it's definitely true. I'm not quite sure what, I'm not, I can't see quite what the follow-up is, but yeah, knight E5 is definitely what you need to do. Amazing move. Amazing move. So, yeah, but I think it's really, it's really time here for Keith to hold the draw. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
What do we got here? King E7, Rook CC6 happened. Rook A5 takes there. Rook F6, Rook check. Oh, check. Rook A2. This is what we said, and then
we looked at exactly this, didn't we? We were talking about Rook C2.
Rook C2.
I said it at the same time as Chris W. Baker IM.
That is very good. I think, I don't know. I mean, it's quite, wondering how could we do anything about this? Well, that'll be easy. B3 check, King E7. We probably go Rook D. Oh no. Then we go Rook B2. That would be quite upsetting.
Rook C6.
Yeah, Rook C6. I was thinking. Oh, sorry. I was thinking Rook D8 here.
Okay, Rook E2.
Yeah, then go Rook D1 check and Rook B1.
Oh, I didn't want you to go there.
Yeah, I've just made this Rook very passive. That's the
thing. No, I was hoping to counterattack against your B pawn, but I didn't see you attacking this one first.
Just so Rook C2, B3. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got to go Rook. I mean, we could go Rook E2 immediately, but that might be cleverer.
Then the Rook's passive.
Indeed, but we're not giving Black that tempo. That's the thing.
It's true. It's better that way.
But is it really Rook there? I was thinking I could go Rook B6, but maybe I just go Rook C2 anyway.
Oh, bother.
Little bit of but this is not easy. Not easy at all. I don't know whether you should sort of try and dash for. I mean, what you could do is go Rook D6 and then Rook D2. That's probably better, isn't it? You're about 60 million tempi up.
Because there isn't a square for this other Rook to come in on.
Yeah, that's right. That's probably much better.
Okay.
I mean, we can still go Rook D8, for example. Keith found 95. Wow.
Oh, well done, Keith.
But then we could sort of take and come here, for example.
Yeah.
at the very least. I mean, we could also maybe just go rook c7 check and then here. And then just be ready to...
How about b3 though?
To sort of emerge. Well, I'm wondering, could we maybe play? We've got the 7th rank.
It'll be 7th rank against the 7th rank, won't it?
Here.
Yeah.
I think your 7th rank is better than his 7th rank.
Yeah.
Not sure. Very complicated, but I think that's definitely the way to do it. I think if you're going to do this thing, and the only thing that you could decide is whether to play b3 and then play rook d6 check to d3. But I like the idea of having everything on the 2nd rank, but possible. Keith found 95. Let's see it. Lovely.
There it is.
Queen a8 played. I think we're going to get a draw by repetition, probably.
Fair result for this.
A fair result, yeah. I think Keith will be disappointed. He was playing quite nicely, I think, but very well fought by Hamish. So no easy points in this tournament.
No.
So okay, yeah. So Queen e8. Keith is thinking maybe has a draw been offered? Maybe, I'm not sure. I think if a draw had been offered, then.
Let's have a quick 2 seconds glance at the players.
I mean, maybe White might be playing d4. I suppose after could be.
That is Keith just standing up doing score sheets.
Oh, okay, yeah. Looks like that one is a draw. Yeah, it's been drawn. Fantastic, lovely. So we've got 2 games going. We've got the very long game, McPhillips against Peter Finn. Peter Finn's also been playing a lot of long games there. And then we've got Oliver Stubbs against... giving up that pawn. Is that wise? I don't think so. Because don't we have rook f4 here?
Ooh. Attacking the bishop.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, no, this is not good.
So bishop c5 defending. Oh, then king c6.
Well, bishop c5, yeah. Well, I'm worried about...
Yeah.
I'm worried about something. Quite sure what I'm worried about, but... Let's have a think. What could we do? Well, I mean, at the very least, this one is worth a punt, isn't it? I mean, I'm thinking b2. Oh, I don't know. This looks really horrible. This does. I mean, so like bishop b3, I go rook b4 simply, and I'm going to get in b2. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I think that was. I mean, there's also this idea as well. We could do. Hey Theo, have a good dinner.
Have a nice dinner, chocolate chess.
I mean, yeah, rook h4 to h5 is also quite dangerous. Ah, Wilsonia, all the languages, Wilsonia.
Yeah.
But we all know what Wilsonia's going to have for dinner tonight. He's going to have toast. A little piece.
He has a more hearty dinner than that.
No, toast for breakfast, toast for lunch, and toast for dinner. That's how we know Wilsonia.
Well, I know what chocolate chess is going to have for pudding.
Chocolate chess is only going to have pudding. That's the thing.
Chocolate.
So, chocolate for starters, chocolate for main course, and chocolate for dessert.
Sounds nice.
I've always had this idea of having a 3-course dessert dinner, and I've never actually done it.
Well,
so
why not?
Lawrence is playing rook h4 to h5. So I don't know whether that. Yeah, I don't know. Is that the best? I'm not sure, but it should be. It's going to be very unpleasant for white. I think you really needed to try and keep that pawn. I don't think it was so bad to keep it. Okay, so we've got 2 long games. Peter Finn against Rook A2, Rook A6.
Oh, we didn't look at that, did we?
Wow, the loonies! What is happening there?
I think what he's trying to do is counterattack and get the if Black takes on B2 to just kind of get the 7th rank.
That's not a bad idea at all, actually, because he's going to go Rook A7. We go King E8. He's going to go Rook H7. Threatening Rook. Well, not really threatening Rook H8 yet. So let's assume B3. Then we go Rook G6, threatening Rook G8.
Yeah.
And threatening mate.
Yeah.
So that is going to be, well, I suppose we go King F8 then.
Yeah.
But if we play this position, this is going to be winning for white simply.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is a very nice.
Yes.
It looks like white's playing really well.
Yeah.
Really.
So you wouldn't take on B2. You might go B3, mightn't you? But then it's not the same.
No, I mean you've got some sort of. The problem is I could go Rook F7, King E8, Rook H7.
Well, then we take on A6. Oh, yeah.
Rook H8 to there. That's quite nasty. It certainly isn't friendly.
Yes.
That is a beautiful move, actually, Rook A6, I have to say.
That is vicious, Joe McPhillips. We didn't see it, and it's very nice.
Vicious Joe McPhillips.
Vicious McPhillips.
I suppose he could go Rook A8.
Check.
Yeah, I mean,
Rook F6.
Rook F6 is possible. I mean, I'm even thinking of that we just do something like this, for example. We just end up picking this pawn up.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
This is going to be tricky for black. Yeah, takes on A8 and Rook B7.
Last window says take on A8 and Rook B7.
Yeah, that's even stronger. That's even stronger, I think.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, yeah. Wow. Excellent idea. Really nice. So, yeah, very tough for white, for black there. I don't know whether would King E7 be a decent idea, maybe. But yeah, okay. It's going to be a long, painful rook ending for black at the very best. So
because you could then go king, where that king move, then you could go Rook takes G6, can't you?
Yeah,
maybe. Oh, I suppose you take on B2.
Yeah, I was hoping that we were. No, yeah, we're not really improving anything. It's just very, very difficult. Amazing. What a great idea. Lovely, a lovely find there. Yeah, and then this other game, I would expect Lawrence to win this. I think in the end.
Yes.
2 pawns up, quite nice pawns there. So yeah. Oh, actually, this is I mean, if you avoid, you go Rook B8, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, we just can give a check, get the rook active, get the king in. Actually, maybe we can even just do stuff like this. Actually, yeah, actually, that's true.
Oh, we could. I was thinking of bailing out into this rook and bishop. We can't from here, though.
No, we can't. That's the problem. Losing that pawn on G4 has been really crucial. So, yeah, that's the risk. That's the risk when you don't, take that decision to to go for that. You could end up with something even worse. It's but yeah, that's
all righty. So this one's looking like a win for black.
win for black, and I think
This
that the
one is still a little bit complicated, but could be a win for white.
But I think I think it's odds on win for white, this one. I think white's playing it so well as well, but I think the chances that there are, white will exploit there, and I think that's probably going to end up as a win.
All right then. Good. Okay. Should we have a quick look at the results of the seniors and see who's
let's have a look. So we've got standings. Let's have a look.
Yes.
And we've got Oliver Jackson, Donald Mason, and Stuart Rubin on 2 points.
This is the over 65s, must be.
This looks like the over 65s. Yeah, I'm not quite.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. We haven't got standings yet on.
And then Roger de Coverley, Anthony Milnes, Ivan Mile, Brian Valentine, Timothy McGrew, Philip Simpson on 1.5. So obviously early days and all very close. And then I suppose the little shock there is that we've got 2 of the top seeds, Andrew Lewis and Chris Duncan, losing an early game there. So
who's in the lead on that one?
Quite a few good players in the seniors. So
I mean, Oliver Jackson in the over 65s. I remember playing him a lot when I was living in the north of England.
Yeah, I played him as well.
Strong. Yes. And then on the 50s is Don Mason and Ian Robson is doing well as well. Excellent. Okay. Now, are you happy that we adjudicate at this point? And
we can adjudicate at this point. We'll adjudicate this one as win for white, I guess, and win for black. And we'll see whether we were right tomorrow.
Yeah, we will update you tomorrow. Okay, we're back on at the same time tomorrow, so about 4:30 English time, to see the next round, which will be round 5 of the British Championships and round 3 of the seniors. So we very much hope to see you then. Thank you all very much for joining in the chat and for watching the stream. Thanks very much for watching.
Thanks for watching.